What's up, Alphas? It's your boy, Alphas, man. Looking cute, looking clean, and looking sexy. And you know what we're doing. We here with Just a Fan. It's Thursday, and I got the crew with me. Up top to my top left, right here, we have Monray. Monray, how you doing today?
What's good, everybody? Your boy Manray, aka Mr. Drop the Mic, is back in the building once again, ready to be just a fan of a few things going on.
And to my top right, we got the one, the only Afro Coming 765. How we doing today?
You already know, your local neighborhood scumbag, here to give you a daily dose of dirtbag, being a fan of some flagrant stuff. You already know what it is.
Speaking of flagrant stuff, Netflix trying to upcharge, trying to put on, talking about if you share your account. They said in 2017, sharing is love. I guess Netflix don't love us no more. Speaking of somebody getting in trouble for love, Kanye apparently so in love that he's just attacking everybody. Got goons going to DL Hughley house. He got Steve Harvey for some reason.
I don't know if Theodopoulos London counts as a
he's a Kanye goon.
Maybe.
I saw Whack 100 say Kanye said don't touch Skeet, so we ain't gonna touch Skeet. I don't know. I like, oh.
Hey, I love Whack. People can say what they want. I love Whack 100. So
we talking in that term. We talking about can beefs cost opportunities, even for a billionaire. And lastly, we talking about Mari ending. I heard other show The Real, right? Ain't that ending too?
It's on one season right now, and then it's up in the air. What's gonna happen to them after that? So is Cable
obsolete? Is this the end?
Boy, the real one though. That's the end of the era, bro. He paid a lot of trailer park people's bills, bruh. I got a couple homies that been on Maury before. We all know. I think everybody probably knows somebody that's been on Maury, bro.
Yeah, we're gonna get that. So that's telling me, is cable obsolete? And we're gonna start with, of course, Netflix, because we all hurt. We are all in pain right now. Everybody either shares their account or gotta share the account. And I'm gonna be honest, Netflix at this moment ain't worth that extra pay. I gotta call my boy and tell him, you might well cancel it, dog. It ain't worth it. You need to save your money. So Marte, what is your thoughts on what is your thoughts on Netflix?
The sharing upcharge.
See, it depends on how they implement it, because it's a little hard in my mind to be able to differentiate between, if I buy it on this television or on this cable network, how do you know that I'm giving my password to somebody else by just giving it to another television if it's the same account? It's a bit finicky to me of how they're going to actually differentiate between you sharing it and just it being on another TV, but it's still your account. Like, are they going to limit how many different names you can have? Netflix, you can have like you, your child, all you can have different accounts.
But so to me, are they going to charge you?
So to me, they're going to charge you per extra name account that you make. So like, okay, another profile is going to be like another $2 per month or something. And that's what I'm wondering. Like, how are they going to differentiate the charge? That determines, how I'm gonna go about, dealing with the upcharge fee. Because as you know, and as everybody knows, we have some shared things going on when it comes to Netflix. Everybody has done it. Everybody had
not women at the moment, so don't y'all get any freaky ideas.
So, I ain't talking like that. But, so I don't blame, Netflix for doing that, because, that is limiting their funds. And, if Netflix does it and they get away with it, other streaming
platforms,
networks and platforms are
adopt the model.
Because, that takes away from their funds. So I understand them doing it, but to me, it depends on how they do it. So if I can find a way to manage that, we'll say it that way. If I find a way to manage that, then, it is what it is.
Yeah, because I'm telling y'all, Netflix, I'm not gonna hold you, bro. I've been on Paramount a lot more lately. I even hate Peacock, and I've been on Peacock more, dog. Peacock app make me sick, and I've been on Peacock more.
Well, you know, Peacock the real thing is in the original series. That's what Netflix is spending on.
All them original anime y'all did has been horrible. Get better.
We ain't talking about the anime. We talking about like Squid Game, like the original series of things that they get out there.
Season 2 of The Witcher.
They bought it.
Mr. Beast got more views on his Squid Game remake than the actual show got.
But that's another story.
I said they
Season 1 was amazing. I don't know y'all Netflix y'all fell off. Tori, your thoughts?
Just give me The Witcher 4 already. That came out of nowhere, but
your thoughts, Tori?
I've been thinking about that. I want to. I thought that they already charge you per device.
I know.
Like,
I know.
If they charge you per device, I'll tell everybody.
I was fairly sure that they already charged you. Like there was different like tiers that you could buy to have more devices connected to it. I thought because I know certain streaming services.
But that's devices, Tori. That's not.
I thought Netflix
not
did it the same
households.
Now, to be fair, some of these platforms might use this as an advantage to be like, well, since Netflix is charging y'all extra, we don't care that y'all want to make some extra things for us. Like some of these ones, like maybe Peacock or something like that, the ones that aren't as big quite yet might be like, no, we don't care if y'all make some extra.
I don't do much legal streaming, anyways, if we're gonna be honest. So it's none of it's affecting me all too much. I ain't finna cap for nothing. You already know how I am.
That is what people are gonna do.
I do not condone anything
of illegal
usage or anything like that. We don't condone that here. I'm just telling you
what's gonna happen when you do it. I remember before streaming made it easy. LimeWire was getting that work. It was destroying computers, but it was getting that work in.
Oh, it was wrecking computers.
Well, LimeWire started
all the TV shows, all the music. And then FrostWire came right behind it and knocked out a couple 100,000 more PCs, but we all got a few burnt DVDs.
That's what I'm saying. I'm just saying, if you start trying to charge people, I don't know if you're gonna recoup.
Boy, I tore up some man. I used to have a homeboy that burnt games back in the day on dual layer DVDs for the Xbox 360. It was, hey.
But yeah, but truthfully, let's be honest.
I'm from the hood, yo. We ain't paying goddamn retail for nothing.
Let's be honest, though. You think people gonna actually the people that ain't paying right now ain't paying? I think that's a wish. That's more of a wish from. Yeah.
Really, what they're really finna do is cut their viewers down, and I wonder how that looks from an advertiser's perspective, or do they care at this point? Because
it just depends on how it goes. If that viewership goes down enough, then they'll take it away. But it just depends.
But wouldn't that be the main thing?
If they did this in 2018, they might could get. I think they could get away with it in 2018. Nah, y'all ain't hot right now, dog. There's too many other streaming services, dog.
But there was a time where Netflix y'all remember Netflix used to send DVDs in the mail, bro. Like people forget, Netflix has been around for a good little.
Yep.
Like they've changed time and time again to stay relevant. Like they were early on the only people that were as early as Netflix on the streaming, and people don't give him his credit. Vince McMahon, WWE Network was popping before a lot of these streaming services.
But he had to deal with Hulu, so he learned from Hulu and Disney. Then they all learned.
Yeah. But Netflix has showed that they'll change with the times if they have to. So maybe this is just them doing it again.
It depends on how this goes. If it goes well, they'll keep it. If it don't, they'll take it back.
I was going to say if they lose a big chunk of viewership from it, I think it goes.
I just don't think it's a good time to try this while you ain't popping right now.
Out the reason for advertising.
That's all I'm thinking. If you ain't popping right now, why you doing this? Like, dog, you ain't got. Like you failed on Cowboy, bro. You failed at Cowboy Bebop
because there's so much going on in streaming entertainment.
But Netflix for years they've had the money to just throw at stuff and just be like, hey, if you go for it, if you don't, just
but they've also had no competition.
Yeah, now they got a lot of competition. Everybody going streaming now.
This time. Now it's
everybody.
Paramount out here letting you watch the local news, so you ain't got to pay for it no more. For $4.99, dog.
Bruh, and they got South Park. Paramount
and
got
they got
South
some hit
Park,
shows that's going crazy.
You know how much emotional currency that has with me personally?
I don't want to talk about what they did to the Rugrats, but
what did Disney Plus do to the? I ain't gonna talk about. We ain't getting
into it.
Don't
forget, the Rugrats already grew up once. They did it back in the day. I was about to go.
Monty almost got me on a rant to go on the Proud Family right now, and I ain't gonna do
it. Oh God!
Oh, you don't like that sleek 3D claymation Proud Family, bruh?
Monty almost got me. I didn't even want to talk about the show. And by the way, Halo, Paramount, you should have did better with Halo.
It looks like the PJs kind of, don't it?
Oh God! Don't remind me what they did to the Proud Family. I had such hopes for it.
Yo, Halo.
Oh my God.
Listen, that don't surprise me at all, Monte. I had such high hopes for the Proud Family remake. Damn it! What the fuck are you talking?
Hey, bro, I grew up on the Proud Family.
I was hoping that the remake of the Proud Family was just simple because the Proud Family isn't complicated.
I mean, I grew up on it. I didn't think it was gonna, because there had been no really good remakes of animation shows that I can think of off the, except for Teen Wolf. Teen Wolf in the beginning, back in the day when MTV redid Teen Wolf.
I thought you hate Bel Air because it wasn't funny. I'm like, bro, it ain't meant to be funny. How you hate something that ain't meant to be?
They literally missed the first thing. That
I ain't gonna lie. I still ain't gave Bel Air a chance. I started the first episode and I couldn't even. It didn't grip me.
Shame on you.
Hey, people love it.
Shame on you.
They hit the nail on the head apparently because the audience is there.
It's one of the few remakes.
And by the way, I want to show. I got thought it.
Like I said, I might give it another chance, but there's a lot of games to be played, and I be under the influence of some illicit substances. So to hold my attention for a certain amount of time, you gotta.
And I want to throw this in here before we get off of it because I really can't. Halo, how do you direct and produce a show and never play the game it's based on? Yeah.
Ooh, I know we were talking about Halo.
But I just had to bring it up. I just wanted people.
But they read the books, man. Read the books.
The books weren't even popular. The game was popular.
Crazy. You didn't even have to say that. I don't understand why they would admit that though.
It's like when that writer for WWE said, "I don't watch the product." I'm like, you writing for a product? How do you not watch it?
Yeah, but look what happened to that writer. They got fired. They got fired.
If you're an artist, as a writer, I'm a writer, so I feel this way. Yeah, as a writer, if you don't focus on what you're writing and don't know nothing about it, you are a terrible writer. I wrote Inherited, which is a story about in the 1960s in which I literally took most of them stories from my father and my grandfather and my uncles. So if you ever read that book, it's literally stories from my parents and great grandparents and all them. And one of them was white, so I used him as an example in the story. So, and it's actually dope. So, but you actually have to have some foundation. You actually have to have some foundation in your writing to write something effectively. I don't understand why you wouldn't. You should have read every Halo book and played every game all the way through.
I still don't. I just don't understand why they said it. It makes no sense at all to say that. Like, you could have just not said anything, and you probably would have got. Because, like I said, I've read some of the Halo books, and
the first game.
It's sort of it's sort of basic. It's basic video game book writing because, like, I mean, it's just a fact of the matter. In the early 2000s into the mid 2000s, almost every game with any kind of, especially AAA games, they had book adaptations. I mean. Movies do it too. Look at all the Star Wars novels that Disney now made non-canon. One of my only problems with Disney. I love Star Wars Legends, but beside the point, I don't understand why they say it. It literally don't make sense to me. Why would you say we didn't play the games though? We're making the show, but we didn't play any of the games. But we read all the
game
books.
Is what made it popular.
So the books aren't what's critically acclaimed here.
But you ever read a Halo book? Like, for real?
It's the game.
Now, you know, I started them, but I like, I don't give.
No, like I said, I remember reading pieces of them back in middle school, but that's not what it's about.
Yes, it's bashing Netflix and these streaming services for terrible products. which it's been my rule. Which I'm telling you, Netflix racial charge.
Like, how many people do you think got that aren't just gonna watch it now after hearing that? Like, we wrote this and we're making it, but we didn't play any of the games.
Speaking of, man, all I'm saying, Monte.
No wonder these animes are so bad. We didn't watch it. I'm waiting for one of them. We didn't watch any of the anime.
Monte, this is my point, Monte. When you make bad decisions as a writer, storyteller, video game, Netflix, as we just talked about, making horrible decisions, not realizing how it affects your fan base. And most people keep their Netflix account just because their mama watch it from some other house. Yeah. So you're making bad decisions. Speaking of making bad decisions, apparently Kanye West, he is banned from the Grammys because he called, what's that guy name? Trevor Noah. He got no, it's Trevor Noah. My name is Trevor too, so it's kind of weird. I forgot it. But Kanye did so many people in the day. I kind of had to think. He called him a coon, and they called it racial profiling. So then they banned him from the Grammys. And apparently he wants full custody of his kids, and Kim did not get none. And it's a whole bunch of Kanye drama. But we don't care about that because we're gonna let Monte explain the problem or why the Grammys banned Kanye. We don't know if it's a problem or not. We're gonna hear what Monte say because I want to hear this. I just want to hear his opinion on it.
Yeah,
I ain't no thing to explain. It's costing money. I don't like talking about the Kanye situation at this point, but at this point, it's literally costing money. They banned you from the show and don't allow you to perform at the Grammys, which is a big show regardless of what medium you're from. Performing at the Grammys is one of the 3 major award shows of the year, and you not being able to perform on it loses you multiple things. Not only just money, it loses you publicity. It loses you attention. Notoriety. It loses you the literal funds of that and any other things that could come from that. The exposure you get. Because Kanye being on a live stage, being able to set himself apart from this stuff on social media would have been a wonderful thing for him. And now the social media things and the Instagram things have spilled over into, his real genuine business life. And now it's become a major issue. Like to where if you wanted to say, okay, he was doing this for publicity, now it's affecting the publicity because now he's taking away a show from the Grammys. And it's at this point, something's seriously wrong, man. Something is not right. Something's just not right at this point. Because you can't, once this starts to lose you major monetary funds. Now Kanye's a billionaire, it's fine. He might not hurt per se from it, but this is an important show for just any medium. You getting to the point with the Grammy. Now, regardless of the reasoning, whether you say, okay, the Grammys might have went too far or something like that, that's not our thing to say because it's up to the Grammy committee and what they choose to do. And, with Trevor Noah being one of the hosts there, it's up to them. It ain't got nothing to do with it. But the fact of just you letting a social media thing or just you letting a couple of simple sentences rob you of a major opportunity is just horrible. And if it gotten to this point, something is seriously wrong. It's just wrong. I ain't saying something's wrong mentally or anything. Just something is seriously wrong about this situation, and it needs to be looked at. It really just needs to be looked at. There's no way to say it around this house. This situation really needs to be looked at and examined, and just figure out what is going on. What is really the issue here? It's not everything that's just put on social media. There's always more underlying factors to that kind of thing. So, just what is really going on? What is really the problem that's surrounding Kanye and the family? Like, what's really going on here? Because this has gotten serious. It's just how you look at it, this has really gotten serious. Because now, within the last week, he was lashing out at D.L. Hughley. You got Steve Harvey commenting like, you don't want none of this, or I don't want to use the exact words. I don't know the exact word, but just you don't want none of these issues.
As Zelmay said, got your goons running up on DL. Good old DL London.
This went from the person that your wife or ex-wife, whichever way you want to call it now, your former love. We went from the dude that she's dating for people to understand it, to now you're just branching out to different people that seem like they have nothing to do with the situation, and it just doesn't make sense. And now it's gotten to the point where like shows are banning you. Like it ain't just the fact they're like, it's almost like they banned him from the show itself. Like it's like, okay, you can't perform, you can still
talking about taking him off Coachella.
They don't want you there, and if they don't want him there, if it's that serious. Like, if it ain't just they banned him for the show, but now they just, we don't want you at the Grammy Awards, period. I don't know which one of these. Yeah. But something's wrong, man.
Yeah, they consider and take you off Coachella after you threatened Billie Eilish. Not because of it, but.
Hey, why are you black?
Why are you Billie Eilish?
By the way, when we say threaten, we don't mean really threaten. We mean he's like, I'm not showing up.
We don't mean.
But what he's saying is, if she's performing and she don't apologize, I'm not showing up, and him perceivably being the bigger artist that could hurt her bag too.
Yeah. Threatening a circumstance. Why like, what if they want Billy more than they want Kanye?
Why ruin your opportunities?
Tori, your thoughts if I break down a bunch of different scenarios that's random in this topic that I care about?
It's just so crazy to me, because like I said, he's messing up, and I think if we're gonna be honest and keep it 100, I think people don't like to. But I mean, Kanye told us from the beginning, bro, before all of this started, when he first told us he was done taking his and he was done negotiating with therapists. When he told us this all them months ago, before, and that was right before the MAGA hat and everything to come after that. So, I mean, and Monte sort of hit the nail on the head. Maybe this is what gets him in focus a little bit. He's really hurting his money now. Like, not being able to perform with Grammys. If they take him off of Coachella, I've seen people on Twitter talking about how Gap needs to dissolve their partnership with him. If all these other fashion places, I mean, yeah, you just made all this money off your stem player, but I mean, Kanye could be in the midst of burning every bridge that he spent the last 20 years building all over Pete Davidson. That's wild. Like if you think about that sentence, that's wild.
It don't make sense. If you think about it, wild, it don't make sense. It don't.
Like I understand love makes you do crazy things, but Kanye's treading a fine line because his words hold more weight. Like I said, and we all know it could happen. What happens when some fan isn't Theodopoulos London coming up to DL Hughley or Pete Davidson, and they're really some like scattered out freaking tweaker fan or something, and they actually hurt somebody, or somebody actually gets bodied by somebody's security for acting wild? Like, what are we gonna say then?
Yeah, everything we talking that talk, but let me take it somewhere. Let's go over some things I've seen and I heard. Let's walk with me a little bit. So I seen people talk, right? I seen them speak. They said if Pete would have said this, or if Kanye would have said what Pete said, if Kim would have said what Kanye said, if anybody would have, if Kanye would have said what Kim said, all this, bro, we don't care about them. They not our culture. They're irrelevant. They do things for whatever, fame or whatever they feel like. Feelings is not important. So I want to bring up, this man is really talking about he want full custody of his kids, and we don't even know how Kim thoughts are right now. We don't know how Kim feelings is right now, because she could be like, I want my kids to have their father so they can see him. But after saying this, if she goes for the jugular,
bro,
she gonna get it. She can make it where he barely ever sees his kid. And it will go through in court that he can barely see his kid. All she got to do is point.
She got all the proof of instability in the world.
I don't say nothing. He got people running around, dangerous people. He got people, he threatening people. He's looking at these weird songs. He doing it. And we know the judges and the court system keeps all that. They know all this stuff. They see what you do online. You can bring it all in court. Even if you are the better parent, let's say you are the better parent, it doesn't matter. Perception is reality in today's age. Perception is That's reality. And let's go over something else. I just want to go over this too, because like I said, I'm with Monte. I don't really care about this no more. And I tend not to try to do things, but I'm trying to learn how to do these videos in a creative way that satisfies me. So this silly topic, let's talk about the word coon for a minute. I do not like this word. Why? Because it's used way too much when people simply disagree or have a different idealisms. Now, it is some people that I will refer to as this, simply all because they really do it. They really mean it. Like, they really tap dance. Like, they are really into it. You know what I mean? They are real life. You got Jason Whitlock. He did something that I put on that level when he said, "Oh, LeBron, you can't say certain things because it make the white people uncomfortable." I was like, what? Then we had Don King, his situation about Michael Jackson is a dancing to all them rich white people that like Mike Pence and all them on the thing on the stage. Like, no matter what, I don't care how rich you is, you still a dancing. I'm like, okay. He really tap dance. And it's a lot of people that do it in private, by the way. It is. And I don't know him, so I don't want to accuse people of random things. But I don't, he called
Don King out here.
He deserve it. You don't like Don King. Yeah,
hey, Mike Tyson, we still, man. It's 30 years later. Hey, Mike
Tyson. A bunch of behavior that goes on that you can call it that too. But I try not to use the word. Why? Because most of the time we use it as a sense of blackness and saying somebody else not black, or just because they think different, they disagree. So I try not to use the word unless I see obvious action upon that word. He called Trevor Noah that for calling him out.
Yeah. And Trevor Noah's half white, by the way. So, but once you're half white, you're prone to catching that. You're gonna get it from the looks sometimes.
He didn't do nothing to tap dance for white people. Unless you saying him with Kim is doing something for white people, which him saying it's dangerous. If we're gonna go deep, let's go deep just for a minute, then we get back to Sydney. Trevor Noah's mom had a similar situation happen where his dad was obsessive with him. So he feels that personally. Like, okay, this seems very dangerous for a woman.
Exactly.
This seems very dangerous for a woman because I've seen this with my dad and my mom and whoever. A man with my mom. I don't know if it was his dad. Yeah, so he coming from a real place. Even after you dissed him like that, he still said, man, leave Kanye alone, I feel for him. Because he going through something and all that. Again, we use these terms to call people that. Why? Because he attacked me or he did something I didn't like or something like that. And we just throw things at them. So we just gonna say this word because that's the most hurtful word a black person called another black person. And it weakens the word because there's people in real life doing this heavy. I ain't see nobody call out Don King except me. I'm still upset. I'm the only one made a YouTube video on it. I'm upset. Only holding it. I'm like, nobody else talking about this. This dude did this on TV, bro. It's on CNN. He just called Michael Jordan just a basketball playing to all the like Michael Jordan was listing all the people done. And I'm like, what? Are we not gonna?
Don't forget, he didn't pay Mike Tyson.
He probably
think about all the money he got.
Them rich white people, but
I'm gonna say.
But again, that's my thoughts on that. I found a way to care about this topic just because I wanted it. Because Kanye, I'm gonna be bro, we love you. We don't care about Kim. If Kim was doing something crazy, we probably wouldn't talk about it on this show. Pete Davidson.
I will.
She got to do something real crazy.
It depends on how crazy you're talking.
Pete Davidson.
New video drop, we make it. If a new video drop, we make it.
Probably a black man. It'll be with a black man.
Well, that's been her MO from the beginning.
If Chris Hopper dropped a video, we're not talking about her.
Ray J. But isn't Chris Humphries like a quarter?
Monte, what you say, Monte?
I'll say this one thing though. when it comes to one of the trouble things, he said, if they decide, because Kanye did bring up he want full custody.
Yeah, he said he want full
custody. I
think he
brought that up, right?
Yeah.
If they go down that route, it is going to be one of, if not the ugliest child court cases.
Custody case. Oh, it's gonna be
we have ever
so much money, though.
Because they have so much money to buy the best lawyers to pull up everything, and then the dirty laundry of whatever in their marriage. All marriages
everybody's
have things that are private for their marriage. The dirty laundry of their marriage might get aired out. It will be one of the ugliest child custody cases we have ever seen. I'm just gonna leave it at that. I hope they don't go down that route, because they do.
I agree with that.
It's ugly, really ugly. Because just the fact they got money, it's gonna get ugly. Because that's not gonna be a case you're gonna settle over like, oh, this will be over like a month or whatever. Nah, this is gonna go into 2023.
And Kanye losing because Kanye got a bunch of public credit.
No, there's some get paid.
Bro, when you got two billionaires, bro, there's no telling. I know the courts tend to favor women a lot of times in different cases like this. It's going to get
and Kanye gonna lose in this ugly case because
they both got money.
I'm done. We can go.
Speaking of the final topic.
Oh yeah, she got an advantage.
And the way he acting now, and he making up story that he didn't pick up his kids.
That's my thing. His behavior is just. I don't know. There ain't no excusing it at a certain point, man. That's like if anybody, and I know it's been said a billion times, but if it's the truth, if it was anybody else acting like this, we'd have been like, "Yo, you gotta check yourself. Like this isn't healthy."
Man, that's what happened when you got yes men, bro. And then, by the way, I agree with Kanye on his TikTok rant. He just took it to some other level that makes him look insane. And I'm not even saying. I'm talking about he said he should have say in if she on TikTok, our father should have say in a lot of things. But once you take it to another level,
oh yeah, okay. I thought,
but once you take it to other levels and go like insane with it, and then add on a bunch of extra stuff, and then all that, it looks insane, and it's a bad look. At one point, I was saying even if his place his heart is right, but I don't. At this point, I don't know what his heart is doing. He just wilding, but. It's all love, Kanye. I hope whatever happened with you, I hope life good, because I do not root against you, my brother.
Send a good vibes.
I don't root against you. I just speak facts. I'm not caping for nobody. I'm not caping for nobody, but I just speak facts. But I love you, my guy. I hope you everything right. Get right. I hope your situation. I hope you.
I can't excuse anybody's actions.
I hope you and your kids be happy, and I hope you get your kids in some way, but. At this rate, I'm just warning you. it don't look like it's gonna happen, my guy.
Just fight.
60 million, Jake Paul putting up. You can probably get way more than that off the sponsors.
60 million ain't enough to get Kanye. Let's be honest. $30 million to Kanye ain't
if that's
him, bro. Not in the chance that Pete could knock him out, because Pete got the reach on Kanye.
But that 60 million was just a purse, right? He can get sponsor deals and all that stuff.
I thought that was
that's off the purse. That's not everything else you get. Boxing, you get extra stuff off.
Yeah, but
because Logan Paul was supposed to get like $10 million from Florida. He didn't get, but he got 50.
Hell, didn't Floyd still never pay
like 50 million from sponsors? So off that fight, so you like I said, you still get a lot of money.
Yeah.
So it ain't even like that. And plus, if you hate that dude that much, even though Pete did say, come to my hotel, I'm right here, after you say where I'm at, and then you like, nah, I ain't doing it. So.
Yeah. And Kanye gonna tell him, come to Sunday service. Why would I come to Sunday service?
Where you at, then he told you where you at. And
you asked me where I was at.
It was weird, so it's whatever. Bruh. Speaking of weird situation.
I ain't gonna lie, though. Pete David's picture of him.
I do not condone that. Because he should have went over there to fight that man. I don't know why he.
I do. You're a local neighborhood scumbag here, condoning all of that. You asked me where I'm at, and I'm laying next to your ex. I'm gonna let you know.
Speaking of not condoning behavior, apparently TV shows and talk shows are not being condoned because apparently they are getting canceled. As we know, Maury is getting canceled. Is Mario?
Oh, it's getting canceled.
Well, it might be ended. I don't know which one.
No. Well, it's ending. Like,
we don't really know
details. We ain't gonna
I know Nick Cannon got canceled though. They gave him 6 months, and they were like, "No, bro, you got."
Well, Nick Cannon, Wild Not Show.
Well, he talking about the talk show.
So, anyway.
Well, no, not Wild and Out.
He's
got a daytime. Yeah, he's got a daytime talk show. Well, it's getting canceled. I think they could have gave it a little longer, but it was kind of weird.
Speaking of the real, though, like it might be canceled.
At least to me.
And cable looking like people don't.
Lots of housewives.
People really don't watch cable as much. So our talk show coming to end, and is podcasting replacing it? Monterey, let us know.
It's looking like it. I'm not even gonna lie. To me, and this is just me personally, the only thing I really watch on like cable television or that I can't watch on some streaming service is sports. And you can see that on like a lot of the ESPN things, but sports is really the thing that I tend to watch and have cable for, like basketball games, football games on Sundays, especially because like NFL Red Zone wasn't on the thing I was using to watch it before. So like just NFL games in general, NBA games, for people that's gonna be interested in baseball when it starts back up, NFL, sports are the main thing that came. Outside of sports, mostly everything you see, even straight up down to some news stations, at least some other than your local, you can see the news on a streaming site or on the internet. So if I had to guess, looking at the future, maybe give it the next generation. So our kids literally may not know what cable television is. Like our kids, they already ain't gonna know like the stuff like the fatback televisions, the red, yellow, and green, the red, yellow, and white wires to plug into your TV in order to play your video games. They don't know none of that kind of stuff anyway. They don't know nothing about dial-up. They don't know nothing about America Online. They already ain't gonna know how to write their own names in cursive. Yeah, I said it, but they ain't gonna know how to write. They ain't already gonna know how to write their names in cursive because cursive is already something they can practice in schools. So they're gonna be missing out on a lot of things like that anyway. So if you ask me, give it about one generation, and cable networks are going to be tied in because a lot of them are already tied into internet anyway. C-Spire, you can get internet. Most of AT&T, you can get internet. They have Uverse. So most of them are already tied to either cable or some internet service as it is because they already know that. Give it a little bit of time, maybe like one generation's worth. And once sports goes on their own streaming service, like if that's the day. If sports ever goes to their own streaming service. Now, sports makes too much money off of cable television.
Amazon put that
at least right now.
Amazon put that check.
That's what I'm saying. Like, so it's already started. Like, if any streaming service or any internet service or anything like Amazon gets their hold on one of the, I'll even say one of the big three, which is be baseball, basketball, and football. If one of the streaming services get a hold of any of that, it's over with the cable. Because cable right now, sports make so much money off of cable and commercials. That's what gets it right now. It's commercials. The commercials are what sells sports. So think about it, because sports and get so much money off of commercials during commercial breaks and stuff, that cable is able to sustain. If sports ever goes to a streaming service or goes to one of them and they just substitute the commercials for ads, it's a wrap. It is a wrap. So I give about one generation before like cable TV won't be nothing but sports. But boy, it ain't looking pretty. But let any of them, I promise, let Disney drop the check and be like, NBA, we want you on Disney Plus. Boy, all 82 games on Disney Plus, bro. I'm sorry. It'll be over with for cable. And the House of Mouse they can try. I ain't gonna say they had the money. They can try. But I mean, the NBA, the NFL, and baseball are like three of the richest franchises.
But Disney might got enough for the Disney pack.
You know what I'm saying? Hey, the House of Mouse was willing to try. They like, if we can get one of the they just get one of the big three. It don't even matter which NFL, one. If they get one of the big three,
you got to split that.
So I said, one of the big three, you got the baseball, basketball, football. Now the NFL, the Super Bowl is known. Like this is the funny thing about it. You could buy the Super Bowl. You could legitimately pay enough money to put the Super Bowl on your service because it's only one game. You could legitimately pay enough money for that. Now the whole season, maybe not. One game, You can pay enough money, and then the amount of revenue you finna get from that one day alone. All the commercials that's gonna have to pay you for commercial breaks and the ads. Oh my God.
Yeah, I was going to say the ad revenue from the Super Bowl is probably next level.
So, boy, but the amount of money you have to pay for that one Super Bowl game would be, oh my God,
astronomical.
Freakonomical. But that's the future. Like, it hinges on sports. If sports ever goes away from cable, it is a wrap. Or sports just be like, you know what, NFL, we big enough. We're going to start our own streaming channel. Welcome to the NFL Network, and you can find all your games only on here. Now, I don't know if the NFL going to do that. I doubt it, only because cable TV makes them so much money. But
yeah,
boy,
I don't know.
If y'all want to know how much money that the NFL would cost, Amazon deal for Thursday Night Football is 11 years, 110 billion.
Ooh.
And that's how many Thursday Night Football games do they got?
Like the last week.
No, I said they get every Thursday Night Football game.
That's what they say. I think.
Dang. Well, that's 17 games for 111 billion.
That's a billion. That's what, $10 billion a year for that.
And they just pay Al Michael $7 billion to do the game. So
it's about like $8 billion a game, somewhere around like $8 billion a game. It's roughly about 8, 9, something like that. Oh,
you say for 110 billion for 11 years.
That's $10 billion a year.
Oh wait, no, so that's $10 billion a year, roughly.
Yeah, $10 billion a year.
And then divided by the 17 games. Oh my gosh.
For
at least 500 million a game. At least 500 million.
So that's how much the NFL would cost. So
crazy.
And that's just for the Thursday night games. See, they already Amazon started. They're like, we don't fire the first bullet. We got Thursday night football games off of cable television. Amazon starting, bro. Because now you got to go on Amazon Prime to watch Thursday night football games. And with the way the NFL just set up with this offseason, you think I'm not going to try to watch them Thursday night games?
People going to have is that Disney extra on Fox and ESPN, so they already kind of got it.
I mean, well, Disney got ESPN, but they have an end with, you know, the NFL. But they got an end with the sports, but they don't own the sports. Like, it's the difference between, like, you owning the sports, but they, like, you just have the channel.
You own the platform that the sports are shown on.
Because I can say that for, you know, some of the Thursday night games and for football, but I can say the same thing that TNT got a straight up in with the NBA every year. TNT has a run with the NBA, and it never fails. Inside the NBA is on every night. So I go there all day. So they got ends with each other. But Amazon already struck the first blow. They paid $111 billion to get this season of Thursday night football game, and they chose it this season. I promise you. Let Thursday night football have Patrick Mahomes versus Russell Wilson that first game. Let Thursday night football have that game.
That's for 11 years, though. That's for 11 years.
This year alone. I'm just talking about this year. Let them have that.
Yeah. But they were thinking long term.
Yeah, I'll say they got it for 11 years. Like, they gonna make that money. They gonna make that back. Like, just the ad revenue from the commercials and stuff alone. They finna get that money back. Boy, like, I'm gonna say, pay attention, y'all. Amazon just struck the first blow. They go on Thursday night football. Somebody gonna go for Monday night football. Just watch.
Bezos out here making moves, y'all. He trying to.
They're gonna go for that. They're gonna go for Thursday night football games, and the next thing you know, but the thing about it, the NFL is not gonna try to like split their games among too many streaming companies. I don't think that just make it harder for people to watch, and they want people to watch. So they ain't gonna split them too much. It is surprising that they gave away all their Thursday night football games for the next 11 years. That is shocking, but to be honest, I don't know,
for 110 billion.
Yeah, you'll take the money, but Thursday night football is probably. It's somewhere among like the least or like the bottom two of probably the most watched game. Because somewhere between Thursday night and Monday night are probably the least two watched. I don't know which one they are. Because everybody watches Sunday night.
The least watched is worth that much.
Yeah. I'll say it's one of the least watched. I don't know if it's Monday night or Thursday night, but either way, that's Thursday night football already gone. So you better go ahead and get the Amazon Prime subscriptions ready. You better go and get them ready. Oh. So, cable, I think your days are numbered. I just don't know how long. I give it one generation. Next generation, they're going to be like, Shoot, might only
I don't
have.
know, but we said the same. Our parents said the same thing about radio when color TVs came around.
Yeah,
radio was still barely surviving.
I mean, to be honest, they right. Nobody do the radio no more than your car. Your car, you got Bluetooth and you got your phone for Pandora. Barely anybody does the radio other than radio shows. So they wasn't wrong. Everybody got a boombox in their house. We got Bluetooth speakerphones.
Yeah, I don't know if Disney owns the Fox brands, but I do know they sell the regional shows to Sinclair. So Sinclair owns the Fox Sports and Fox Sports 1. Disney does not own them, but they own the regular TV show. So I do not know how does that work. But these deals.
Well, wrestling tie-in, Sinclair Media also used to own Ring of Honor.
Boy,
by the way, this how different the contract's gonna be. Viacom is paying $2.1 billion for the NFL. NBC is paying $2 billion, and Amazon just put $110 billion up. So this price, they estimate it's gonna cost $400 billion for ESPN and Disney when it's come up this time. So.
I mean, yeah, when you're a streaming service, because it's different than just regular cable television. Regular cable television, anybody can go watch it. But when you're a streaming service, you're literally forced to watch only that service that you have to pay for. So it's not free watching. So you're going to have to pay more because you have a limited window that people can watch through you. So, like, we want viewers and we want commercials. So you finna pay us for the cost we're going to lose for that.
Yeah, but they saying this deal, the next deal the NFL get going to be $400 billion. You just like be ready for it. So Deshaun Watson contract gonna be nothing. Last question before we got here, Tori Monte, is podcasting taking over talk show? This is supposed to.
Yep.
I think it could be edging it out, numbers wise, just sheer viewership wise, it could be, but just to sort of circle in on the radio point, it could take longer than we think. I think it is inevitable, just the accessibility to podcasts as opposed to cable television. If you really think about it on a big scale like that, there's a big accessibility difference there. And so the numbers are it's only a matter of time before the advertisers realize that too, as they already have. I mean, think about all the Spotify ads and YouTube ads and whatever other streaming service that you're listening to. Chances are, if you're not paying for premium, there's ads there. So I think it's inevitable, but I don't know how quickly it's going to happen. So short answer, already made long. Yeah, it's going to happen. I don't know how quickly, but
I think it's going to happen quicker than Tori think, because half the people on talk show now got podcasts.
I mean, that is some other talk shows.
All the talk shows getting canceled. Ellen canceled now.
Ellen DeGeneres, hers is on her last season. I don't know if
it got canceled.
Hers on her last season.
Is Jerry still going though? It's not over until Jerry quit.
I think they just playing replays.
Jerry Springer?
No, I still think Jerry's going.
Yeah, Jerry is a judge now. He's a judge.
Oh,
he's a judge. Judge Jerry.
Damn.
Now, whether that show
it might be over then.
But
the era of talk shows might really.
I just say, it's going to happen mainly because
too. So Jerry canceled also. It happened 10 days ago.
They got rid of Judge Jerry. I mean, to me, it was a weird idea anyway, but to me, it was just weird that you go from, a show having nothing but like ratchet and crazy looking people at least on there to
episode on pay-per-view, bro. How you a judge now?
He could have been a judge before he started this show.
I mean, but the show made him more money.
I was going to say, wasn't he in politics before that too?
Hey, Jerry Springer made money though. But I say it's going to edge it out. It's going to edge it out, brother. I don't think it's going to take too long. But it's going to edge it out maybe in another generation or so. Only because podcasts can jump on topics way faster than the talk show can. Like, if you have a podcast and you just have your equipment and stuff like that, you can jump on an event like very quickly as soon as it happens. The talk show normally has a syndicated time of, every day at 10 o'clock in the morning on this channel. So they have to wait for that thing. But if something happens at like 7 o'clock that night, they gotta wait till the next day. A podcast, if they can get their stuff together and just get on quick, they can run their podcast instantly. Like they can just be on topics quicker. They can react to things generally quicker. Unless it's like a huge podcast.
But the audience difference is the big thing on how quickly do we close the audience gap.
Joe Rogan being all talk shows
really matter.
I mean, the whole thing about it, you really just need the podcast to get on syndicated television. But once the podcast hit television, it's a wrap. That's it.
Yeah,
but then they only just like the talk show thing. But
you don't think it takes away from whatever other audience they've built? Because you don't get to do both, really. Do you think they're going to let them? Well, I guess I wouldn't have thought that until Charlemagne, because Charlemagne's got a TV show and The Breakfast Club and multiple podcasts. So I guess they will let you do it all.
He grew off of the Breakfast Club and everything. But like the thing, like you can separate podcasts. Like talk shows generally have a lot of times talk shows have a theme. They don't really go for everything that happens in media, or they don't talk about every subject that comes up. They have a general theme or some certain ideas that they talk about. Like even like the talk, they talk about certain things that pertain to, just certain subjects or certain interests of their viewing audience, or things that adhere sometimes to the host or the guests they have on there. But they ain't gonna jump on instantly on like if Kanye West says something on Instagram this time, they're not necessarily gonna jump on that because it might not appeal to their subjects that they're trying to do on their show for that day or anything of that nature. But the podcast ain't gonna really care. Podcasts talk about anything, unless they're a themed podcast, like a sports podcast, something like that. A general podcast, even like us, like Just the Fan, we'll talk about anything. Like
we went from Martin and Kanye
to if you got a podcast like that, you can talk about anything. Easy access, and then the audience. I mean, you get an audience regardless. Everybody's gonna have their own audience, so it's just the ease of access. So being able to talk about anything at almost any point in time, you can drop up a podcast relatively quick. I mean, if you got a talk show that comes on 5 times a week, at 10 o'clock in the morning for an hour or for 2 hours, okay, cool. If I got a podcast I can put out anytime I want, like maybe once a day, and I see they drop a bombshell, let's say, for example, Ice Cube announces the 4th Friday movie comes out. Oh, snap. I can get my stuff together, call Zelmay and call up T-Rounds, and we can put out a podcast within 2 hours at night. I ain't got to wait for a talk show at 10 o'clock in the morning. That's the thing. That's the easy access that podcast will have over a talk show anytime. We ain't got to wait.
We got to get on stuff quick.
So
production turnover, mad different.
On that note.
By the way, speaking of, we hope y'all like the podcast. We hope y'all enjoyed it. Hit that like button, hit that subscribe button, hit that notification bell. We do this every Thursday. We are here. Man Cave tomorrow. We talking about body count and does it matter? You usually see Uniqo. His stuff is in the description below. You can see mine on my link tree. Monray, where can they find you?
It's always here.
The boy Monray Hudson is on TikTok and on Instagram. You can click on the link tree underneath the name. Catch all the podcast stuff I'm a part of. Appreciate everybody having me out here. And buy the merch.
Ramsey, what can they find you?
You already know it's AfroCommie765 on everything. Instagram, Twitter, your dang 4chan, Reddit, all that. It's all AfroCommie765.
True. And like I said, you can find me in my link tree below. You can find me over on that sports, over on that me, over on that country channel. You can find the Anchor, Spotify, Apple Music. You can find all that. It's right there below. And yes, I do appreciate y'all. Tell a friend, tell somebody, them guys talking about something fun. We want to listen to y'all. And remember, keep stomping. Why? Something amazing can happen. Peace.